I have been monitoring the team's environment for the entire week and speaking with some students. They have said that many of you are trying to use the class notebook. The class notebook is a very difficult piece of software. It's part of the OneNote suite of applications, but it's not the complete OneNote classroom, and it's also not the same OneNote that you get on mobile devices. Both the OneNote classroom and the mobile app OneNote are actually very powerful tools. This class notebook is something that is in the middle and it is not very well developed. I think the training time to use the class notebook for any teacher and to learn how to use it effectively for not just notes but quizzes and everything else could be upwards of 3 hours. Instead of using the class notebook, I would like to give you a couple of other ways to keep class notes, daily logs, etc. Now, one caveat to this is if you have quizzes and assignments, they should go in quizzes and assignments, and we have separate training for that. This is really just for that ongoing work. So, like for example, if you have an essay that students are working on and there's going to be different drafts, you can do this for those. And they can just keep the same document and just keep building on it. They don't need to send you multiple documents. They can do the rough draft, you can give them comments, they can clean it up, and you can just move that way. The students can always download a copy of the stages of the document, and so can you if you want to. But generally, these documents are what you would call living documents, and they're always changing and developing. All right, let's jump right in. I'm going to show you the two ways to do it, and I have a teacher interface and a student interface open. I'm going to jump first over to assignments. So this is definitely the easiest way to do it. All right. Um, I'm going to create an assignment and I'm going to call it final essay. Okay. I misspelled prompted. That would be bad. Not promoted, prompted. Okay. Now you can put in points if you want. Let's say it's worth 200 points. And then I'm going to add a resource. And the resource is going to be make a new file, Word document. And then here's the trick. I'm going to go to due date and make the due date June 30th. So now it's open until the end of the term. And I'm going to assign it to all the students in the class. Give this just a moment. Now I have tested this with multiple students. In this video, I'm only going to show you one account, but I can ensure you that each student gets their own copy and they cannot access other copies from other students. Okay, that's a notification to my student account. Let's jump over here. Make this a little bit bigger. All right, final essay. I'm going to open this up, and here is really the only thing the students need to know. Click the three dots, open in Word Online. Now, what's interesting is this is just a blank document. You could have uploaded a template. So if you have an essay format you want the students to follow, you can upload a template. It doesn't have to be blank like this. But I'm going to open it up. It's automatically saved, which is great. The students don't have to do anything. If you have students who do have trouble typing, or you feel like they can express themselves by speaking better, they also can use the dictate function, which we can get into later, and they can actually speak their ideas instead of typing. So it's pretty powerful. Once they're done, they just hit back, or they can go to another team or whatever they want. Okay, and it's open, and it's going to be open every day because it stays open unless they hit turn it in. If they accidentally hit turn it in, they can revoke that, so it's not a big deal. They can bring it back. I've assigned final essay, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to check it. Got to let the data update. All right, here are all the students in my class. This is pretty interesting. You can see that this student, this is my fake student, has viewed it. I'm going to click here, and you can see what they've written. And if you want to comment, you can hit edit document, edit in browser. You can give them feedback right in here. This is final feedback, and it gets posted when everything is returned, so you wouldn't want to do this. You'd want to open it up and give them direct feedback. You can also use the dictate feature if you want to dictate feedback. And once you do this student, you can shuttle through all the students in the class. Notice they each have their own copy. Lee and KZ are being especially lazy in this assignment. Just like that. Close it out. And so that's all you need to do. And even with daily logs, it would be the same. And then when you're ready, you tell the students to turn it in, and then you can post a grade if you want, return final feedback to them, etc. So that's how you do the first one. And I think it's pretty easy. However, there's another way to do this, and the upside to the next method is that it does involve the students using a variety of skills. It will develop their IT skills, their concept of sharing, and as long as you do it slowly and in stages, you're not going to leak over any information. And that is to create a tab and build a wiki, and inside that wiki have all the students link and manage their own documents. So you don't really have to do anything except set up the template. Now I've set up this template, and I'll be happy to share this so you can copy and paste it. To make a wiki, you just go to the plus sign, and you choose wiki, and you give it a name. So, like that. And then the students would just go here to manage their final essay. I'm going to go over to this template that I made. It's kind of like a cooking show. This is just faster. So I put instructions in here for what I want them to do. These are daily logs. In your OneDrive, create a Word document, change the name, etc. And then I would load instructions in here for them. We can get into that later to show them how to do it. I would just have a link. The students would open it. It would be a video or something I've made to train them how to do this. I'm going to walk you through it once, but it's really not that difficult. And then down here is a list of students. As a teacher, what you need to do is make the list of students. You could have the students enter their own name because they all have editing rights to the wiki. And it is possible for students to mess the wiki up. Like, it's possible for them to delete things. But generally, this is good practice because they're learning how to collaboratively maintain an online document. So I do think that that's quite important. And you can always make a new page and every day or once a week or something, copy all the information on the wiki, paste it into the new page. They're not going to be on the new page. Or you can paste it into Word and keep a backup. And that's usually what I do. Once I make one of these pages, I just make a copy of it, paste it into Word, and save it. You can always just paste it back. All right. So the way this works is the students follow the instructions. So what they do is they go into their OneDrive. They can be in their OneDrive, or they can literally just click the launcher and they make a new Word document. Create a blank document, and they give it a name, whatever you've instructed them to do. I would say it's better to give them as many instructions as you can in terms of the setup in the template. Okay. So they've done that. Now, here's what they have to learn how to do. They have to learn how to go to share, choose specific people, and click allow editing. When they hit apply, they'll get this box. They type your name, the teacher's name, in this box. So I'm the teacher of the class. And then they don't even have to hit send. They can just hit copy link. So once they get the link, they jump back over here and they go down to the bottom and they find their name. They're able to select their name, click hyperlink, paste, insert. Now, as the teacher, the student has done that. As a teacher, you can open their essay whenever you want. And these were done by KZ, and Lee as an example. Nice. Nice use of the meme. So that's a little bit broader of an approach, but it uses a lot more skills. And you could have, like, if you're working on an essay, the good thing about a wiki is you can learn how to build sections. So you could have writing tips and instructions. You could have your layout and template information for the rough draft. You can build all of that in here, and they can just click student list, or you can just click student list to get down to jump to their documents whenever you want, and you can just keep building. And if you decide you want to restructure a wiki, it's really easy. You can just drag your sections around like this and put stuff at the top. So it's very useful. So anyway, these are two ways that I think would be a better approach for you for keeping daily logs, working on essays, etc., and keeping it all in. I know some people are just loading stuff up at the files. The files inside of Teams is interesting, so it is possible to manage some of the permissions, but there is an assumption inside of Teams that files are for the group. So you might be able to separate files by channel or by general, but there's just an assumption that they're for the group. And in order to really override those permissions, you have to work inside of the SharePoint. The SharePoint is not a nice user-friendly interface. So by simply working in assignments and working in the wiki, you tend to be able to work fluidly and not think so much about things like privacy and permissions, and you're not really learning any new like level of navigation or any new terms and workflows as you would have to if you want to use the class notebook. If you feel very strongly that you want to use the class notebook after you watch this video, please contact me because we probably need to do a full class notebook training, and you need to set aside, I would say, an hour to work with me and then 2 hours of time to really master it through practice.